Welcome back. This is Edward Collins here. We're on location with Entrepreneur Unleashed, part of the up-level entrepreneur ecosystem. We're in Orlando, Florida, basically about to jump into this amazing business conference for the next few days, where a few thousand, you heard that correctly, a few thousand like-minded business professionals, all interested in taking their lives and their businesses to the next level. We're all congregating in one location and just about to consume a significant amount of information, absorb a significant amount of energy to help catapult us through the remainder of this year. So we're on site. Jose's with me. I actually brought the whole up-level team with us. Guys, make some noise in the background. Woo! Yeah. So we're on site. We're here at this business conference. We're in a hotel. This is a Marriott, I believe, right? We're in a Marriott?
We are in a Marriott.
We're in a Marriott.
Sir.
And we're just having a lot of fun. So
yes, we are day one.
This is officially day one of this conference.
How are you doing today? That's first of all.
I'm doing amazing.
Great. You are headed to a week with no sleep almost.
Pretty much. That's usually how it works.
All day conference, all night networking, and in between we're gonna record a lot.
Yes.
So that's the move. That's the plan. Right, so let me ask you, Edward, why coming to a conference?
I think as business owners, one of the things that tends to happen is you get so focused within your own little ecosystem. You know this, I talk about the up-level entrepreneur ecosystem all the time, but there's a lot of value by getting outside of your comfort zone and exposing yourself to new ideas, new thoughts, new people. And the amazing thing about business conferences is usually the people who are in attendance are all interested in doing something new, like growing and growth and getting some sort of momentum. And I think that one of the things that happens if you don't expose yourself, you can get stagnated wherever you are. And I think that there's huge value in just doing things a little bit differently, just to change up your routine.
Right.
Because I used to do this one thing when I was younger. This is back in right out of university.
Yeah.
I used to take my watch, take it off, if I can do it now, and I'd put it on the other hand. Just to change things up for a second. Not because I like having my watch on this wrist. I can't even put the watch on. But the fact that you do that, it just changed my entire balance.
Oh,
everything is different. I'm used to feeling the weight on this wrist. Now it's on this wrist. And it changes the way you think about it for a second. It changes the way you capture your attention, changes the way you focus on what time is it. All of the things, just by doing something just a little different, it changes your routine, which could spark an idea. I mean, you never know what can happen from it. Yeah. So the benefit of attending a conference like this is that you're just doing something new and meeting new people. So you know that. I love doing that.
All right, now, I'm going to ask you a tricky question.
Okay.
So you said that you come here because you can spark new ideas and all that stuff. Now, we're working together. We know that sometimes we need to work real hard to stay away from that shiny object symptom. Yes. Where is the balance between welcoming new ideas and going towards shiny objects that eventually will distract you from the task that you know that you need to get done?
I think that's critical. I was having a discussion last night with a business owner here at the conference. We had that pre-event sort of gathering and get together. Yeah. And we were talking about the shiny objects, because that is the challenge with coming to a large business conference with all different individuals in different industries, talking about different aspects of what they do. Yeah. And what I said is this: it's important to have your vision. It's important to have your goal out there and having your eye on that. But it's not as important to focus on all the different steps that are in that journey. Only step you should be looking at is the one right in front of you. Because it's the step that's right in front of you that's the most important. Because if you don't take that step, you'll never make the journey. And the challenge is, when you come to a conference, there's a step here, and there's a step there, and there's a step over there that all look pretty attractive. But if you make a commitment to say, I'm going to take this step, and then take it, because remember, if you look at all the things that exist in your journey of success, it's not the planning that gets you there, because planning does not lead to outcome. Action is what leads to outcome. So taking the step is what's important. Not getting distracted, well, it's hard to balance that out. The way I look at it is that I make a dedicated amount of time each year where I'm willing to be distracted, because I want my mind to be exposed to new things. Not necessarily because I'm going to travel down that new path, but just the exposure to a new thought can help reinforce the thoughts that I'm already having. It can spark creativity within the things I'm currently doing. We've talked about the concept of synthesis before, where you can take good things from all these different aspects of what you're exposed to and bring them together into a new thing for yourself.
As a synergy, right?
Exactly.
All right. Now, another question that I have here for you is, usually these conferences are not cheap at all, right? No. So tell me, what is your thinking process behind bringing all the team here? Because we are here 5 members of the team. You could have come here by yourself, because at the end of the day, you're like the thinker, you're the one that has like the ideas for the company. So if you think about it, you could have gone cheaper and just get the ticket for yourself. Why bringing the whole team?
I think that's an evaluation that business owners are constantly making for themselves. What is a good return on the investment you're going to make? And sometimes you can see it clearly, and sometimes you just have a feeling about it. And when it comes to like business conferences like this one, I actually wanted the team to come out because there's value in just exposing the team to the things that inspire their owner, if you will, the owner of the company. Yeah. This type of event inspires me. And seeing that, I think, is a value add in and of itself. The other benefit is now we have multiple sets of eyes, multiple sets of ears, all able to consume the content that's going to be shared, so that I don't have to be the one that's relying on gathering all the information and all the data. Yeah. We can regroup in the weeks ahead and say, hey, what did you take great from this event? What do you think we should consider adding into our matrix of systems and processes and procedures, or our suite of product offerings for the individuals that we serve within our own community? Yeah. So having multiple members of the team there, all inspired towards the same ultimate vision, which is growth, is huge. Because again, we're made better by the fact that all of us are growing. All right, that's a pretty legit answer. That's pretty good. Now I have to change my watch, by the way. This is definitely a little bit different. I haven't done this in a very long time. So. Yeah.
All right, now what I want to ask you is, people, of course, they don't know this because they look at it from the outside, but I want you to run the viewers through the process of what did we have to do to prepare for this event, in terms of knowing that every team member is a marketing walking board, all this stuff.
I think one of the things that we do a little bit differently than a lot of other business owners out there is that we make every member of the UpLevel community a brand ambassador. Every member of our team is a brand ambassador for UpLevel Entrepreneur. And the reason why we want to go that route is because we recognize that in today's age of attention being the most valuable commodity that exists, our job is to capture the attention of those we serve and those we potentially could serve, so that they are interested in learning a little bit more about who we are and what we do. And if we can add value, then we can add value to them. And the best way to capture attention is to constantly be in a mode of attention grabbing, saying, okay, how can I share our story? How can you share our story? How could Andy share our story, or Florencia, or Raul? Any member of our team, whether it's Jasmine or even Blendy, like whoever it may be, sharing who our story is with those who are interested in hearing the story gives us the opportunity to expand our network, expand our opportunity to impact more and more individuals. Because ultimately that's our mission. Our mission is to change the lives of at least 1,000 entrepreneurs for the better by catapulting them into that multimillionaire status, by going through our 3 pillars. Helping them to plug those profit leaks that exist within their business. And then once they've done that, implementing super simple systems to scale their revenue up. And then ultimately scale the entire enterprise through leverage. Going through that process of taking them through that journey is important, but we're not going to be able to do that unless we expose who we are to the market. Yeah. The whole concept of marketing and advertising is to make known, and that's what we want to do. I mean, you know this. Alex Hormozy talks about this all the time. Advertising, to make known, to make known. And the only way to do that is to put ourselves out there. So having the team learn and make sure that we know how to share our story in a way that is not overpowering, it's just a way that's genuine, because that's what I want us to be. I want us to always be coming from a position of genuine interest in changing lives for the better. So getting the team ready to be able to do that. We practiced. We went through the process of talking it out, writing it out, scripting it out, if you will. And I know that a lot of business owners may say, wait a minute, scripting it out, talking it out, practicing. Yeah, I mean, if you want to get good at anything, you need to practice.
Repetition.
It's the journey of mastery is what? 10,000 repetitions, if you will. You have to do 10,000 repetitions to become a master of something. The only way to get there is to start. That's where a lot of people, they don't do it. A lot of business owners will sit back and say, okay, I'm good at what I do, like my one thing. But they don't constantly refine. They don't fine-tune that process. And if you're actually looking to take your life and your business to the next level, it should be a constant journey of fine-tuning, iterating, because not everything is perfect, and that's okay. But your journey toward perfection leads to great things, great milestones along the way. Yeah,
for sure. I want to unpack this even further. Okay. And I want you to understand what's going through my head right now. So as you know, I used to be a basketball player, right?
Yes.
And even though you have 5 members in the court, just as we have 5 members today in this event,
the event,
each member, right, has a different task to do.
They have a role.
Can you walk us through the conversations that we had with each team member so that they knew what their task or their purpose were within the conference and within these 5 days that we're going to be here?
Sure. So, as an example, Florencia is our woman master behind the scenes, if you will. She makes sure that she's over there. You can't see her on camera right now, but she's just offset. She's the one that makes sure that all the logistics behind the scenes gets done. Like, everyone has their rooms. Everyone makes sure that their transportation is covered. She's the one who's handling all those behind-the-scenes logistics, which, quite frankly, is a lot. In order to attend an event with multiple people and get everyone on the same page at the same time, there's a lot of moving parts behind. So that's her role. We went through that process. We sat down, we met, we talked it out, and then she made it happen. Andy, as an example, he's basically our multimedia productions director, if you will. So his job is to make sure that all of the cameras are in place, all the lighting. Not just that they're in place here and set up, but they got here.
Exactly.
And it was something that we made sure we had all of the cords for the audio, the mics, the sandbags. I mean, you guys can't see everything on the camera, but this is a legit set. And if you go into our Instagram page, our TikTok page, our YouTube channel, you may see some behind-the-scenes shots of this event that we're recording at in a moment, but there's a lot that goes into a production because we're not just using iPhones to record this. Don't get me wrong, business owners can absolutely do that. They can use iPhones and they can still create content because it's better to create something than to create nothing. But we actually have it set up, and Andy's the one who made sure that all of the logistics of production are in place for us to be able to do that. Raul is the one who's managing all the behind-the-scenes interaction with our social media environment. So making sure that whatever we're producing and all that material is being put into the ecosystem of TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and LinkedIn, et cetera. So he's the one who's handling all those logistics and also interacting, creating short form and BTS type of content throughout the entirety of the event. And then that leads us to an interesting fellow. His name is Jose. And he's the one who...
He seems like a cool guy, though.
He is a cool guy. Yeah, he's a cool guy. And Jose's job is essentially, as you know, is to make sure that everything that needs to happen that starts first up here in my mind gets put into action in the real life. So if I have an idea, your job is to figure out how to make that happen in real life. And then my role here, what I do is I'm here to absorb as much content as I can, become inspired in the areas that we're already making progress within, figure out how we can leverage that process to the next level within our own business, how to potentially network with other business owners who are like-minded or interested in taking their businesses and their lives to the next level, and collaborate. So the value of a conference like this, again, there's going to be thousands of like-minded business professionals, entrepreneurs, individuals who are really interested in figuring out how to make connections here because they know that you're one connection away. You're one connection away.
Like our good friend Melissa say.
One connection away with getting to where you want to get. And ultimately, you just have to do it. You have to put your hand out and shake hands and bump fists and pass information along so that you can connect both here and once you get back home.
Exactly. So you are a serial entrepreneur. You've had several businesses.
I am.
You've worked with several teams. And I just want to reinforce the importance of having those conversations before the event. Like how important it is to talk to Raul, talk to Flo and tell, hey, like, we're going to this event. We're expecting this from you. We know that you can achieve this success within the event, and we expect you to do it.
I think that's a lesson that most business owners need to take, is that it's your job as a business owner to ensure the expectations are set in advance of whatever the outcome you're looking to accomplish is. So again, we were talking about it in the context of a conference, but let's just put it in the context of running your business on a day-to-day. If you haven't sat down with whoever your operations director is, if you haven't sat down with whoever your marketing director is, or whoever your sales director, or whoever it is that's handling an aspect of your business, if you have not sat down with them and shared expectations as to what their day-to-day should be, it's your fault if you don't get there. You're the leader. You don't necessarily have to know the exact navigation course, if you will, for the destination you're trying to achieve, but you're the one who's standing at the bow of the boat with your nose in the fog, saying, okay, I'm going to be the one leading it, and constantly moving that ship forward, helping the members of the team know when is it that they should be rowing, when is it that they should be taking the oars out of the water. You're the one who's in charge of doing that, so everything falls on you. And that's a lot of burden for a lot of people to take on, but hey, if you're going to be a business owner, you've signed up for that job.
Yeah. Amazing, man. So, all right, let's zoom out a little bit.
Sure.
We've gone deep into human resources and leveraging your human capital that you have. How would you recommend other business owners to attend the good conferences? How many conferences would you ask business owners that they should go into?
So I'd say
what is too much? What is too few? What do you think about that?
I think that's going to be a personal decision that each individual business owner is going to need to make for themselves, because different people are at different stages of their journey. So I'd say that there's always value in getting exposed to different types of content and different individuals in general. But there probably could be a situation where it's too much. Like if you're going to like 37 conferences a year, maybe that's a bit more. Don't get me wrong, but maybe that's what you're doing. You're going to conferences and that's how you're networking. So it all depends on what the motivation is for attending the conference. So if you're attending the conference for networking, well, and your business thrives on the networking environment, well, then maybe that makes sense. If you're attending the conference in order to just to be exposed to new information, well, how much of that new information is then going to lead to that shiny object syndrome? So you have to figure out what the balance is that's right for you. But I will say this, you should do it. You should go and expose yourself to thoughts and ideas, etc. I'll say in my own situation, it was a little bit more of like trial and error. I definitely do not have a count now. I mean, there's way too many conferences that I've been to in my long, almost 25-year entrepreneurial journey. But I'd say that I definitely went to some really, really bad ones, ones that were of no value at all. It's a little bit stinging because it costs money to attend a conference. It costs time, which is infinitely more valuable. And it costs attention, which is literally the most valuable thing you have. Yeah. So when you make those bad investments, it is a little bit more stinging, but it's still better than not doing it at all, because now you've learned what not to do. You've learned what not to expose yourself, so that the next time an opportunity to attend a conference or to be participatory in any type of event, whether it's a local networking event or any time you have a chance to get around other people, you will be able to evaluate the potential return on that investment in a better way.
Another thing that I've noticed, right, again, in the year and some change that we've been working together, is that every time we attend a conference or an event or a live webinar or whatever it is, we always go for the VIP. We always pay that extra little bit. Mm-hmm. In this conference, we're paying a lot much, like much more to be in the front of the room with the highest minds in the room. Now, could you explain and elaborate why you do that? Is it worth it to stretch yourself a little bit more to be in the front of a room, to be in that dinner table with the biggest minds?
So you know this about me. I believe that the best investment you can ever make is in yourself. Quite literally. I own a private wealth management firm. So you may think if you're asking me about the best investments, I would talk about the stock market or something like that. No, the best investments anyone, not whether you're a business owner or an individual, best investments anyone can make is in themselves. So if you're going to invest in yourself, you want to make sure you're doing it to the degree that gives you the most return. Putting yourself in the room with the right people makes all the difference. My mother used to say, I lost my mother when I was a senior at university, but before she died, one of the things she always said to me is that the best way to get sick is to hang out with sick people. And that thought process resonated with me, because the reality is this: success is best caught rather than taught. Put yourself in a room with people who are doing the things you want to be doing. You have a better opportunity, better probability of putting those same things into practice within your own life. You develop relationships with genuinely good people, you're going to be genuinely better for doing that. You put yourself into a room with someone who has aspired to something that you've always been aspiring to, and then they've gotten through it, and you can learn vicariously through them. It's absolutely worth it. I mean, if you're going to invest in yourself, would you rather invest a dime or dollar? Because every dollar you put into yourself returns dividends that pay forever. Yeah. The things, the experiences, the wisdom that you invest into yourself can't be taken away from you in divorce. It can't be taken away from you by a business partnership failure. It can't be taken away through bankruptcy. There's nothing that can take away that thing.
The experience, the knowledge.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So you definitely want to do that. If I look back at my career, the different businesses that we own, I'd say that the number one thing has been the exposure to the people who have done it the way I want to be doing it. That has gotten me to where I am. And again, it's just something that, it's sort of like a magnet. If you think of the most powerful magnet in the world, it pulls things towards it. The reality is you can be in a room with a powerful magnet that's negative, or you could be in a room with a powerful magnet that's positive. Where do you want to be pulled? Do you want to be pulled to the good things? Do you want to be pulled to the milestones of success that you want to achieve? Or do you want to be pulled down into the muck and mud? Yeah. The vast majority of people that I've had interaction with at conferences like this are all interested in being pulled towards the positive things, the growth, the exposure to advancement within their lives and their business. But there's a lot of people in society that aren't interested in that for some reason. They want to pull people down, and I choose not to be part of those groups. So if you're interested in attending events or doing anything in life, take it to the next level. Yeah. Invest in yourself and say, hey, I'm going to do it to the nth degree. I'm going to put the extra dollars in, because the reality is if I'm exposed to the right people, that one connection that you may make at that event could change the course of your career.
Now I'm going to put you in a practical conjuncture, right? Okay. I'm going to play the devil's advocate, because I know that right now you're in a place in which you are financially free, let's say, right? You're pretty laid back. But before, at the starting of your career, when you were struggling more, maybe you wouldn't really stress yourself that much because you didn't have the capability. Yeah. But let me ask you this. Let's say in a hypothetical example, right? Let's say that you have a budget of X amount of money, right? And you can choose between two options. Okay. Either go to one conference a year, but go full in, like VIP with the best people in the room and stuff, or go to 3 different conferences throughout the year, but general access. Okay. What would you choose and
VIP.
Why?
VIP 100%. The reason for it is it's not volume of exposure. It's the right exposure.
All right.
Okay. Like, sure, you can jump into the ocean and drown, but you can also drown on a teaspoon of water. So at the end of the day, if you're gonna expose yourself to something, you want to expose yourself to the most impactful thing you can in the moment. And if that's all you can afford, if that's all you can invest in, then invest in that. Yeah. And then use the other 364 days a year to put into practice what you just learned, or interact with the people you just met. Yeah. But no matter what you do, don't waste your time. That's really what it comes down to. If you're going to invest in attending a conference or being part of a group or networking, whatever it is, don't waste your time. Yeah. Do it to the nth degree. Take it to the next level. Shake more hands. Be genuine with your interaction with people. Be who you are, because you want to attract the people who actually resonate with who you are. Yeah. You don't have to be all things to all people. Be you to the right set of people.
Yeah. That's super powerful, man. All right, so this is gonna be my last question. So I really want you to think about it, and then after the question, you can really share whatever you want, right?
Okay.
But so again, you've had multitude of experiences in conferences. So what would be your top 5 tips to give other business owners when they go to a conference? First of all, I know you're gonna say don't sleep.
Well, so yeah, Jose knows that when I attend events like this, I just get so energized. I don't sleep. I was up last night until 4 a.m.
They might think that we're joking, but we're not.
I'm being serious. Last night we wrapped up probably like 1 or 2, something like that. I was up until 4. I think I went upstairs around 4 a.m. Woke up this morning at about 6:15, 6:20ish. Yeah, so about 2 hours. So I'm definitely a little bit, but in about 42 seconds, I'm going to be lively again. So
yeah, like being in that room with I think this event is going to be like plus 5,000 people.
Yeah,
bouncing
probably around
over
there.
The place.
It's going to be so much energy, and the energy is just going to be contagious, which is great.
For sure.
But I'd say tip number 1 is to prepare in advance.
Prepare in advance.
Okay. Meaning, if you're going to attend a conference, if you're going to have business cards, do you have business cards? If you're going to do a digital card, do you have your QR codes in order? Yep. If you're whatever it is, just be prepared so that when you're at the event, you don't have to worry about being challenged in the event itself. Yeah. Tip number 2 is get out of your comfort zone. This may sound surprising to you and maybe sound surprising to the audience, but I'm introverted. If I had to choose between being in a group of people and being alone, I'd be alone. But I recognize that process is not going to get me to where I want to get. So at the end of the day, I put myself into situations that may be a little uncomfortable. And now it's almost like it's a routine for me now. Yeah. Now I'm comfortable with doing it, even though when I first got started doing it, It was extremely uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
So you have to be willing to get outside of your comfort zone, because success isn't found in that. It's not found in the comfort zone. The milestones of success that I desire are found just on the other side of that environment, just on the other side of caution, just on the other side of comfort, just on the other side of status quo.
Yeah.
Because everything in this zone is where you are now. And if now is not where you want to be, if that's not what you want and you want something different, the only way to get something different is to do something different.
Yeah.
So get out of your comfort zone. That'd be tip number 2. Tip number 3 is be you. Be you. Because it doesn't help you to attract people who aren't attracted to you, to the real you. Because then you have to be someone you're not way too much during the year.
Yeah.
It's so much easier just to be who you are, because there are almost 8 billion people now on the planet. It's definitely over 7 billion. So more than 7 billion people. You don't have to attract every single one of them, regardless of what your business is.
Yeah.
Even if you're Mark Zuckerberg, you don't have to attract all 8 billion people. You have to attract the ones who resonate with you, who actually are interested in who you are.
Yeah.
Because the connection you can make with those people are much more able to stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Tip number 4 is, I'd say, go through the process with an outcome in mind. Meaning have goals of X. So, for instance, my goal is to genuinely meet 10 new people that I've never met before, and be able to then connect with those people into the future, because the connections we make at this event are deep connections. So go into the event with goals in mind.
Yeah.
So you've prepped, you're doing all the other steps along the way, and then ultimately 5 is remember that no matter what happens at the event, it does no good unless you put those things into action when you get home.
That's a big one.
You have to take the steps, because the reality is this: if you start with having that outcome in mind, know that no matter what, the only thing that leads to outcome is action. Nothing else. You could sit around. I'm a planner, you know that. I can sit around planning all day long, but that planning does not lead to outcome.
Yeah.
Action leads to outcome. I can sit and say, okay, I want to get from where I am in this room over to that potted plant, and I can plan my course all day long. I can go this way, I can go that way, I can take this right and then that right. But if I'm still sitting here at 3 in the afternoon, I've done nothing.
Yeah.
And progress is what matters. So you have to take action. So if you're going to attend an event, a conference, a networking, whatever it may be, have the outcome in mind, get what you need to get out of the event, and then put it into action. Because that's the difference maker.
So for the audience, real quick, a quick recap would be First,
you're going to make sure you prepare in advance. So you do all your prepping. You're going to go through the process of ensuring you get outside of your comfort zone. You want to make sure that you're going through the environment of getting all your ducks in a row to have an outcome in mind. You have your plan in place. These are the number of people that you're going to interact with.
Yeah, be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself. Be genuine in who you are, and then put into action the things you want to have, want to get out of the event. Because again, if you don't put it into action, it does no good to have attended. That would have been wasted dollars, but more important, it would have been wasted time.
Exactly. And the one that I'm gonna add is that at every time that you are not either meeting people or in the event, do things like this.
Oh, absolutely.
Record all that you can record.
We're creating content,
produce content
all the time.
Be ultra productive constantly.
I think I've taken a little bit of a page out of like Gary Vee's book, in that I honestly do believe no matter what business you're in these days, you're in the business of capturing attention.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be capturing attention, that means you are a media company that just happens to do something else. Like, we are a media company that just happens to take business owners to the next level within their lives and their businesses by helping them learn how to create, accumulate, and protect real wealth. That's what we do after the fact that we're a media company. We're exposing who we are to the universe of potential individuals who could get value out of what we produce, but ultimately we're constantly exposing. So creating content, capturing content, you know this, I was not good at it in the beginning. I'm still not good at it now. I'm better than I was.
Yeah, it's a process, man.
It is a process.
Yep.
My goal in everything that I do is that today I want to be better than I was yesterday, but not as good as tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So.
Awesome. And yes, last but not least, I think we should explain the best piece that we have, net not gross.
Net not gross.
Explain
net,
this, why this is the best. This is the best hashtag.
Yeah, because so many times when you go to conferences like this, you're seeing all these individuals who have attained certain milestones. You hear numbers, like for instance, we were going to this. You weren't on the bus with me yesterday. We were going to this pre-event party with a full busload of people. And there was lines of buses. There was tons and tons of buses taking all these members. Remember, there's like thousands and thousands of people at this conference. We were going to this event. It was at SeaWorld. We're in Orlando, Florida. It was at SeaWorld. And on our bus, one of the members of our bus, one of the individuals on there, decided, because we're all like entrepreneurs, we're all going gangbusters. And what I'm about to share with you is I'm not trying to be braggadocious. I'm just using this as an example. He went around every member of the bus and asked them, what revenue did you produce this year? Or what revenue are you on track to produce this year? And he was adding it up, literally at his calculator on the phone, and he was adding every single person's thing. And by the end, he did the announcement on the bus. He said, on this bus, there's $247 million on the bus, because he added up everyone's revenue for the year. Yeah. Now, that sounds great. No, actually, it is great. I mean, that's huge. But it doesn't matter how much you make. It matters how much you keep. Because what you keep benefits you and your family and the community you care about. What you keep is the thing, the tool, the fuel that can change your life and the lives of those you care about for the better. So net, not gross, is what matters.
Hashtag net, not gross. All right, guys, this being said, I think I'm done. Do you want to add anything?
I just want to wish each and every one of you, no matter where you may be situated in the world today, no matter where you are in your entrepreneurial journey, I just want to wish you well. Be productive. Remember, it's net, not gross, and I'll see you on the next one.
We'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Yeah, cool.
Good stuff.
Awesome, man.
All right.
Okay.